Hi everyone, I'm Heather and I am here aboard the AmaWaterways in Cambodia. Behind me is the city of Phnom Penh and I am sailing on their 7-night Riches of the Mekong River. I am so excited. This is a bucket list trip for me. I am so looking forward to visiting Siem Reap, Phnom Penh, eating some really fantastic food, but really getting to know the culture of Vietnam and Cambodia. I think that these are two destinations that we've heard a lot about, but maybe we're a little afraid to visit or we never thought that we could. But Ama makes it really easy. Not only am I going to do a little tour with them in Siem Reap before the cruise, I am going to take this gorgeous 7 nights to sail down the Mekong River, get into tiny little villages, but also massive cities like Phnom Penh and Saigon, and get to know the history, the culture, the art, the people. What a fantastic way to travel a place that is a little bit off the beaten path, but not feel stressed out about it. Ama's gonna take care of everything. I only have to pack and unpack once. I'm really looking forward to it. Let's go experience Cambodia and Vietnam. I came in a few days early to Siem Reap because I can't come all this way and not see Angkor Wat. It's one of the great things, the great wonders of the world, really, and it's been on my bucket list forever. So I added on a 3-night pre-extension through Ama, which is great because before the cruise even starts, I already have them taking care of me. They picked me up from the airport, brought me to this gorgeous hotel. We're at the Sofitel in Siem Reap, which is only about 10 minutes from Angkor Wat. But then in addition to just seeing Angkor Wat, they have guided tours to a bunch of the other temples in the area. So we saw Angkor Thom, Ta Prohm Temple, which is where Tomb Raider was filmed. We also went all the way out to Bante Saray, which is the ladies' temple. So you're seeing a lot more than just Angkor Wat. And you have local guides with you that are from the area, so they're teaching you all of the history. Plus, you don't have to drive. You don't have to worry about getting your temple passes. You don't have to worry how you're going to get from place to place. And they're also offering you suggestions on what to do in your downtime. So if you want to come to Siem Reap early and see the area, but you're kind of unsure of what to do, where to go, where to stay, adding on a tour through Ama is the way to go. And they also have post extensions in Saigon and Hanoi, so you can really make 2.5 week vacation out of this. So it's more than just a river cruise.
When you sail with AmaWaterways, all of your excursions are included. You don't have to pay extra for any of them. And there's usually 3 or 4 in every single port for you to choose from. So you have an option on what to see and do. And what's really cool is that they'll also give you ponchos and umbrellas to take out with you just in case of rain. So that's not something that you have to pack. And you're going to see a bunch of excursions that I did. We went to a lot of tiny little villages where we got to go and meet families who live in Cambodia and Vietnam. We went to a candy making workshop where they make puffed rice and these kind of like coconut chews that are almost like taffy. We got to go and, see local farms and things like that, royal palaces, just everyday life here along the Mekong Delta. There was a couple of big cities along the way, Phnom Penh. I'm about to head to Saigon, Siem Reap, which really resonated with me, but this cruise is much, much more about quiet local life and what it looks like in the villages, what these old homes look like, and really the history of the area. It was very eye-opening to see how other people live, but everybody was so warm and friendly. They wanted to share their lives with you, which was so nice.
Today is our first day in Phnom Penh. We're here for 2 nights. The ship just stays right at the dock and you can come and go as you please. But this morning, I took a city tour with some of the Ama guides. So I'm actually inside their royal palace right now, which is their version of Buckingham Palace. If I have to say it, it's a lot prettier. Everything is golden and gilded. I'm about to go see the throne. We can't take pictures inside, so I wanted to show you the beautiful buildings outside. But after I'm done with the royal palace complex, I'm going to go over to the central market and then back to the ship for lunch.
Friend and family, they arrived to Phnom Penh. This is the one that represents to the capital city.
This morning, we took a bus tour to the largest monastery in Cambodia, and we just received a blessing from Buddhist monks, which was super special. And now I am going to hike 409 stairs up a mountain. I don't know how that's going to go, but the view is going to be gorgeous. Do I look sweaty? I feel sweaty, but I did it, and it was not as bad as I thought it would be. If the sun was out, I would not like life right now. Let's talk about the best time to sail on the Mekong River. And honestly, that's really going to depend on you and what's important to you. I can tell you that the most popular time to go is probably November or April. People seem to think it's going to be cooler. It's not. It's Southeast Asia. It is hot and humid here year-round. However, November and April they tend to be drier. You're in their dry season, so you're not going to be getting the daily rain. That being said, I'm here in August, and the ship is at half capacity because people don't want to travel during the rainy season. We actually only had 1 day of rain. It may have rained for about 20 minutes a few other days, but it happened to be during mealtime, so it didn't affect our plans. So I think that the best time to go is in August and September because you're avoiding the major monsoon season. Yes, it's probably going to rain once or twice during your trip, but you also have less crowds. So less people at Angkor Wat, less people walking through the markets, less people on the cruise ship, which means more personalized attention. So if you are okay with a little bit of showers, definitely check out August or September. If that bothers you, November is the way to go. Our afternoon excursion was pretty somber. We went to one of the prisons the Khmer Rouge used to detain and torture their own citizens. Essentially, the Cambodian Civil War was between the Khmer Rouge, who were trying to control and eliminate all of the educated citizens. And so there were almost 200 of these prisons around the country where they kidnapped and sent citizens and tortured them before they then sent them to one of the 389 killing fields around the country. So we went to one of these prisons and then one of the killing fields. And it's equivalent of going to Auschwitz or seeing, one of the genocide museums around Europe for World War II. It's just a little sadder that this was really only about 40 years ago, and it was the government doing this to their own people. And while it certainly wasn't something that was enjoyable, I think it's something that if you are going to visit Cambodia, you should learn their history and hear their stories and just try to understand a little bit more about their history. This was a really fantastic cruise, and I love river cruising in general, but this is my first time doing a river cruise outside of Europe, so it's a little bit different. It's a much slower paced. You're not in all of these big cities. Pretty much everywhere you stop along the Mekong River is a tiny village, and that's really charming because you get to see how other people in the world live, what their way of life is away from the city, how they earn a living. But after a while, all of those villages started to look the same, and it was hard to differentiate between them. I think that if you like a faster paced cruise or a lot of things to do, this may not be the best option for you, or just make sure you bookend it with stays in Siem Reap and Saigon and maybe even Hanoi. What I do like about this cruise is the ease of travel, of getting between Cambodia and Vietnam. Ama handled everything, all of, our paperwork, our passports, didn't have to worry about renting a car or how I'm going to get from one place to another. I unpacked once, got to see the countryside, and then they took me from the boat over to Saigon, where I got to spend 2 fantastic days here. So it is a very easy way to get around the country. It's just a little bit lower paced. And don't forget, all of your excursions are included. So all of the sightseeing is already taken care of. You don't have to pay any extra. It was really nice to have extra time on board the ship to relax, sail down the river, do a little bit of a workout maybe, take in some cultural activities. So if you're looking for a slower vacation, this could be great for you. And that's it. That sums up my 2 weeks here in Vietnam and Cambodia sailing along the Mekong River. I had such a great time. This was a huge bucket list destination for me, and I am always going to remember finally getting to see Angkor Wat. And not only seeing it, but experiencing it at sunrise. That was so special. And I also am so taken with the people, whether they were AmaWaterways staff or just people I met in a village. They were so friendly. Literally everybody smiled at you as you walked past. The locals brought you into their home. They wanted you to see how they lived and share their life with you. Well, the cows were so cute and so happy and sweet. They were like giant puppies. The farmers market was a really great experience for me because I like markets back home. So it was nice to see one in a foreign country, and just the produce that they have is so much better than what we have at home. There's so many different varieties, and because their land is so fertile, everything is so colorful. This was just a really special experience, and I'm so glad I got to do it. The one thing I didn't like was the heat and humidity. Unfortunately, it's Southeast Asia, and you just can't avoid that. So that was definitely a challenge. If you're gonna come, pack some fans, maybe some cooling towels, and just be prepared for that. But other than that, it was a really special trip, and I think that if you've ever wanted to visit this part of the world, cruising with AmaWaterways made it so easy, and I'm happy to answer any questions you might have about this trip. Just pop them in the comments, and if you actually want to get it booked, I am a certified travel agent, so I'd be happy to do that for you. Just reach out, and we can chat about it. Thank you so much for watching. Share this with your friends, like, subscribe, all that good stuff. I'm Heather, and I will see you next time. Bye!